So it's been about a week since Kiwi Farms went down, and it looks like they stayed down. And I wanted to do a follow-up video to my previous one. If you didn't see the previous one, I'll link it down below. But I hope you watch it. Go watch that one, then come back and watch this one. Now, when I talked about this last week, a lot of people asked me, I don't even know what Kiwi Farms is. And it depends on who you ask. You're going to get vastly different answers from different people when you ask that question. For example, if you ask somebody who posts on that board regularly or read that board regularly, they would say it's just an internet forum where they track notable online people and keep track of the things they said and done and tweeted and that kind of thing. And mostly they make fun of it. But if you were one of those notable people that they were tracking, you would probably say it's a harassment subreddit, a hate subreddit, a place that got you doxxed and had your private information shared, a group where people use that information to contact your employers, to get you fired, to get your family and friends and people like that harassed, got swatted, and even in a handful of cases, got people killed. But about a year ago, this streamer, known as Keffals online, basically got harassed by these people, swatted by these people, and decided that she was going to do something. And a year later, after a tremendous amount of work, she managed to launch a campaign that got this website ultimately taken off of the internet. And there's a really big smear campaign going on about her right now, which makes sense because that's what her enemy does, right? And I can't say one way or the other if Keffals, this person who took down Kiwi Farms, is a good person or a bad person, if they've done good things, if they've done bad things. And you know what? I have no interest in looking at it. I don't really care. This person did one good thing, which is take the largest hate little group off of the internet and push them onto the dark web. I'm going to choose to celebrate that. If she did something awful, obviously I condemn it. But it's not going to change the fact that she did one small thing that made my life slightly better, and I'm going to be grateful for that one thing. Criticize Clara as much as you want. Currently, Kiwi Farms no longer has capture protection, so it's a little more vulnerable to bots. Its host, Cloudflare, has completely dropped it. The DDoS guard people have dropped it as well, so it can be DDoSed. The Wayback Machine has removed all of its stuff from the archives. Iceland seized the Kiwi Farms Iceland domain. Google delisted it from its searches, and Google Voice has now blocked the owner of the website from using the Google Voice service. And that's just as of 9/11. And if you follow my channel for any amount of time, you'll know that I'm not a huge fan of deplatforming. I'm not a huge fan of all these big tech companies getting together and deciding to destroy just one person for a difference of opinion. But when it comes to criminal activity, when it comes to getting people killed, when it comes to destroying lives, when it comes to doing truly heinous and awful stuff, sometimes deplatforming is the only choice, and I feel like it might have been the only choice here. I don't think any of these people were going to grow up or grow out of it or decide to stop committing crimes or stop swatting and doxing and harassing people and stop making fun of people. I don't think they were going to do that. I genuinely don't. So now that you're caught up, this is the thing that I wanted to talk about. This tweet made me want to come in here and record. Amanda says, this entire story really cuts against the ignore them and they go away argument. The common wisdom of Kiwi Farms was that ignoring them was the best way to fight them, but that silence gave them space to operate out of sight. And first off, I think we have to recognize that when you deplatform a forum like this and push them onto Telegraph or Discord or the dark web or wherever it is they end up, you end up losing the casual users that just kind of went there to meme and have fun and poke fun. But the people that travel with you are the most dangerous, crazy ones. The ones in my personal life who have called the cops on me, tried to get me swatted, tried to get me committed, contacted my sponsors to get them to drop me, contacted friends and family members, harassed me, harassed my friends and family, harassed random people that just happen to be in the background of one of my videos before, the kind that come knocking at my front doors, the one that send harassing emails and send harassing postcards to my front door. Those are the people that are going to stick it out, the most extreme and most dangerous of them. You just have to accept that deplatforming further radicalizes that group every time. It does, however, make it difficult for them to find more and new members to radicalize. So it's a trade-off for sure. But I do think ignoring the trolls doesn't work. And I can say in my personal case, it absolutely didn't. Because I did everything I could for a long time to ignore them. I wasn't very good at it or very capable of it. But it wasn't until I basically forced myself into retirement back in 2019 and took basically 2 full years off of live streaming and posting videos that the majority of these people began to leave me alone. And you know what? There's still a good group of 20 or 30 that are constantly obsessed with everything I do. Every tweet, every post, even things I do in my personal life. I don't even know how they figure it out, but they do. Now, one lesson I definitely learned is that you don't want to give them too much attention, and you don't want to give them public attention if you can help it. You basically want to pretend like they don't exist, but also work behind the scenes to fight them. I tried doing that. Let's just remember, I'm incompetent when it comes to things like this, so it's no real surprise that I failed, but I feel like it's a good plan for other people. Keffals, on the other hand, did the opposite. Keffals has ruined her life here. I mean, absolutely, these people that are going to stick with that subreddit and stick with that forum are going to continue to harass her until she's in the ground. There's no doubt about it. If there's people still harassing me 5 years after my prime on YouTube, then I promise you, I guarantee you, they're going to follow her to her grave and probably well past it. And that's how we get to the smear campaign that I mentioned earlier, right? And for all I know, everything in that smear campaign is entirely true about her. I'll never know the difference, right? I can say that in the smear campaign against me, 98% of it was not true, and the 2% that was got blown completely out of proportion. But when people hear that stuff, they want to believe it. They like a dark, scary story, right? And so they're going to probably believe everything they can about her the same way they believed everything they wanted to about me. In her particular case, she seems well connected with law enforcement, well connected with Twitch, well connected with the internet, well connected with a lot of activists. I think she'll be okay. And if she can put herself in a role where she can constantly be at the forefront of fighting these types of people, and mentally and physically she can handle that, then I think career-wise she'll be okay. I can't imagine the mental toll, though. I genuinely can't, especially if the things that are being said about her are not true. Oh. But for your average person, it might be good advice to not engage with these people, not give them the credit, not give them the power, not give them anything, and instead let people like Keffals, who may or may not be a great person, decide to do the fighting for you, and maybe support the people that do that fighting for you so that, you don't have to ruin your life the way she's ruined hers. Just a thought. At the end of the day, I have hope. I have hope that this will force those people to stop doing what they do and they'll get better. Maybe the criminals among them will get arrested and that'll scare the rest of them off. I don't really know. I don't know how it's going to play out. I've come to expect the worst when it comes to stuff like this. And I'm very rarely disappointed, so that's what I'm expecting here. But I'm hopeful for a much better outcome for everyone involved. But as usual, that's one man's opinion. I could be wrong, and I know if I am, you're going to let me know in the comments section down below. I know Monday Magic, I've put it off 2 weeks in a row. I got Magic content coming out later this week, but I thought this was a good way to start the week to celebrate the 1 week anniversary. Hopefully things will continue to be better. But until then, as always, guys, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I will speak with you again soon.